See, I think from tomorrow, this is little difficult. Tomorrow,
if you want us tomorrow,
no?
we can.
Now it will be difficult. Tomorrow. From tomorrow we'll do that. Sadashiva Samarambha Shankaracharya Madhyama Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Dayakaram Dayakaram Dhantam Dharmakaradhakam Pranamami Dayanandam Madhacharya Paramparam Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhavatu Sahavidyam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Mahavidrishavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. In the last 6 classes, we have seen with utmost clarity the values, attitudes that are needed for the assimilation of this knowledge. And the values and attitudes that occur in the 13th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita that we have seen in detail. Guys, are also ready? Mic a little away. Away. Okay. Now, that better? Yeah. So, the values and attitudes that we have seen in the 13th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, reiterated as Daivi Sampat in the 16th chapter as well, the beginning of the 16th chapter, are nothing other than sadhana chatushkaya. And all these qualifications rather, that we are in the middle of seeing. So in a way, Acharya Swamiji has made my job easy because we can run through these very quickly. We can have a marathon. And the reason why to have a marathon, I'm telling this more for myself than for you. The reason to have this marathon is because I have to finish this text by the end of the month before I leave again. And so therefore, from now onwards, again, we will have 1.5 hour classes every single day until this text is finished, right? So we had stopped at, we were right in the middle of discussing Viravaga, Vairagya is what? What is this thing called Vairagya? And that we have seen. Indriyadhyeshu Vairagyam, we saw that earlier. And here we were looking at it from the standpoint of the human pursuits. The human pursuits are initially 4 in number. And then slowly, like that, how is that? There was an old video game. What was that called? Like that, everything gets swallowed. First, we have 4. Why? Because the less we know, the more the choices there are. When we don't know much, The choices are abundant. So many choices. I can do this, I can do that, I can go here, I can go there. And I can follow this path to moksha. I can follow that path to moksha. And so many, and the spiritual world is replete. There is an abiding presence of multiple paths. And then when we tell Jnana Devatu Kaivalyam, only through knowledge is moksha, we are branded as, oh, why can't you be accommodated? Why do you have to be such a fanatic? You know, why do you only have to keep on saying knowledge, knowledge, knowledge? Why not many, many, many paths? And you can be accommodated when it concerns the person's, behavior. Somebody behaves in a strange way. Yes, I can be accommodated. Why? Because the person is a relative. Happens to be the brother-in-law. What can you do? What is that say? Sister-in-law or brother-in-law says 2 plus 2 is 7. Can you accommodate that? No. You accommodate the person and perhaps their quirks, okay? Because they have come, they are family, they have come to dinner, they have come to stay for a weekend, whatever it is, you accommodate. But you can't accommodate. And the knowledge does not brook any accommodation. No matter how sympathetic you are, no matter how large-hearted you are, there is no accommodation here possible. So why can't I get moksha through bhakti? Why can't I get moksha through meditation? Why can't I get moksha through jumping up and down? Karma yoga, okay? So why can't I do this? Why can't I do that? This is, all these, what is that? Paths. There are only 2 paths, okay? Sociopaths, psychopaths. That's all. Only 2 paths, not other, we have to exorcise this ghost of multiple paths. Because as soon as you start saying these multiple paths, that means what? That there is a big gap in the head. And that gap in the head is, like how when the earthquake happens, there is a, what is that called? Fault. Here it's a literal fault. And what is the fault here? The flaw is not being able to see a very direct connection. It's not that I'm trying to become mukta. I'm not trying to become free. I'm already free. And if I'm already free, then what should I do? I should seek properly. I can't say I should stop seeking. No, because I need to keep seeking. But I should seek differently. The seeker has to hone in what is the subject matter of seeking. The subject matter of seeking being myself, and myself not being an object, myself being the subject. So the seeking takes a U-turn away from all the things, the objects, back to the subject. U-turn means you are the one who turns. Okay. U-turn. You have to turn very quickly. Immediately you have to turn. And this is where we stopped at 6 days back. So I just want to complete that before we move on. So in the beginning, there are 4 Purusharthas. And we describe them in detail. In all the Shastras, they are there in detail. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. All these things are talked about. Then what happens? When I look at Artha, for example, I see that I am not seeking security. What am I seeking? Freedom from insecurity. So then, freedom from insecurity, if I'm seeking, that means I have made a conclusion that is erroneous. What is the conclusion? I am insecure. That's the conclusion. The conclusion is what has to be corrected. And so, same thing. Next one, happiness. Kama. Happiness means I'm not seeking happiness, I'm seeking freedom from unhappiness. Artha, Kama, Akman, swallowed. What is left now? Dharma and moksha. And dharma is what? Dharma is righteous living, following what is to be followed, desisting from doing what is not to be done. This is dharma. And so, what for should I follow, what I should follow? They will say, the Shastra will tell us it is for the sake of punya, gaining punya. Gaining punya for what? Afterlife, huh? This is a bank balance which will take me to various heavenly, what is that, enjoyments, including apsaras, nymphs, and Indra, all these musical celestials, Yaksha, Gandharva, what's the other one? Kinnara, all these people are there. From morning to evening, they keep singing and playing celestial instruments. So, this is the description. This is why dharma becomes important and it is highlighted in the first portion of the Veda. Dharma also, in this life also, it has meaning because it gives emotional maturity. That is why dharma. Because I grow into being a person who likes whatever there is to be done. This mic has to be treated with respect. Who grows to like whatever there is to be done. Why? Because I can't always do as I like. So I have to learn to like whatever there is to do. This is one karma yoga in one sentence. That is the growth. So dharma becomes an interim purushartha, all for the sake of what? Moksha. Dharma is a relative purushartha, gaining which I become qualified for moksha. So how many purusharthas now? One. Swaha. Understanding this is the combination of viveka and vairagya. Because if we think of vairagya as letting go and giving up this, giving up that, then the only thing that will be given up is Vedanta itself. That's what will happen. Oh, I have to give up this. Oh my God, next week I have to give up that. Now I have to give up this. Okay, it's much easier to give up Vedanta. Yes. That's what will happen. That's why we are very, very clear about how to define this vairagya, viraga, same thing. Abstract now. And it's more of a growing sense of objectivity. It's not that I have to go away from everything. And when I go away from everything, what happens? You carry everything in your head. Carry every single thing in your head. You have gone away, but the head is full of all kinds of things that should not belong. And in fact, whatever is in the head attacks you with a vengeance that is not there when you are with among other people. Because when you are by yourself, there is nothing to do. And so all these ghouls, these ghosts of memories past, come back and they haunt. They haunt. And these, they haunt. The memories haunt. The unprocessed experiences haunt the person. It's not about going away. What's the use of going away? Wherever you go, there you are. And if it is not one thing, it is your mother. That is what it is. Or your father. Something or the other. One is keeping on getting worried about. So therefore, vairagya is understanding this very fact. And letting things drop in the wake of the relative viveka that is gained. Viveka, vairagya are twins. Discuss them together many times. Difficult to put them in compartments because each one helps the other. So the viveka helps me to see the shobhana adhyasa. We have learned this term. A value-added subjective projection upon things. The viveka vairagya combination also helps me to see the ashobhana adhyasa. Ashobhana means the negative projection I may have on objects, things, situations, events, people, etc. So both the negative and the positive projections, what do? I just let it drop. I grow in the wake of this understanding that these are projections. I allow them to drop. So this way I can allow things to drop as I grow, rather than trying to consciously drop the things and ending up dropping Vedanta. I let other things drop and keep the Vedanta. Keep this pursuit, let the other things drop. Then one day I have full Vairagya. I gave you an example. Remember? Like the bald man walking in the shampoo section of the supermarket. Doesn't look here, doesn't look there. There may be so many hair products that are advertised. But here is a person who has no hair. And so therefore, all these things are useless. Goes confidently and quickly through that section. Hair gel, no thank you. Shampoo, no thank you. Conditioner, what is that? You know, this is how the person just goes, because this is of no use to me. Similarly, this is the paripakvata kind of a growth because of this viveka and vairagya. Then the student asks the next question. What is that? Samadhi shashakka sampattihi ka. Samadhi shashakka sampattihi ka. So now the student remembers what is this, what this teacher had said before. The teacher had said, Samadhi shakka sampattihi. What is that? Samadhi shakka sampattihi ka. Why ka? It was kaha, kim, ka. Why ka? Feminine. Very good. Yes. Sanskrit is feminine. Yes. Very nice. So Samadhi shakka sampattihi ka. Shamodamaha. Varati stitiksha. Shraddha samadhanam. Chakiti. So then, this what is Samadhi shakka sampattihi? See, before there were only 4 qualifications. And then we find that these 4, out of these 4, one of them has expanded like an accordion. An accordion, how it goes like that? A harmonium, if it's closed, then it opens, it gives various folds, various kinds of folds. As I said, this mic needs a lot of respect. Anything what to do with this? Flip it off. That's it. Samadhi shakka sampattihi. So first we say only 4. Why? Because it is very easy to gain. Number 1. Number 2, of these 4, one of them is a 6-pack. Yeah. So they go together. That's why it is all bunched up into one. That's the second reason. It's bunched up into one because it is all certain kind of an emotional way of responding to situations and certain other things that one has to gain, because of which it is bunched up together. So then again the student asks, Shamaha kaha, Mano nigraha. So Shamaha, what is Shama? The student asks, and the teacher responds, Mano nigraha, mastery over the ways of the mind. To have a say over the ways of the mind. And if you look in translations, other than Arshavidya, you will find what? Mind control. Which is why we didn't want you to have the translation in the first place, so that samskara doesn't come. Because once that orientation comes, and you see, because this is what is called the tyranny of print. When you see something in print, you think it is true. It's called the tyranny of the printed word. And that is the reason, why we have to be very careful with the translations. Having a say over the ways of the mind is called Shavaha. And there is a robust dialogue about this in the 6th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, where Arjuna, hearing about the instructions given for meditation, complains to the Lord. What have you done to me? You are asking me to hold the mind, you are asking me to discipline the mind, you are asking me to train the mind. It's like a monkey. It jumps everywhere. It is stubborn. It has a mind of its own. In fact, the only thing we can say about the mind is, never mind. That's what you say. That's for sure. You give up and say, never mind, do the mind. That's all you can say. What else do you say? So Arjuna complains, this stubborn mind, it has a way of its own. It just goes from thought to thought like a frog. It jumps, it leapfrogs from thought to thought. What are you asking me to do? Oh Krishna, if you had asked me to bring a fistful of air, I could have been easy. I could have just got a fistful of air and presented it to you, but you're asking me to train this no good mind. This never mind, you're asking me to train. Lord Krishna agrees. He says, yes. Yes, I can see that. Asamshayam mahabaho. Mano durnigraham chalam. Yes, you mighty armed one, who can vanquish all the enemies, but having a difficult time with your own mind. There's a little trolling going on there. Every address of Lord Krishna. When sometimes he's being a mama's boy, Kaunteya, little bit of a trolling. And so here also, he says, Mahabahu, you mighty armed one, you were Sabyasachi, ambidextrous. With left hand you can shoot the arrows, with right hand you can shoot the arrows. You have got this, biceps, triceps, deltoids, any other muscles, whichever we didn't even know which are there. All of them you have, in good measure. But here this mind struggling with. But yes, I agree with you. Manaha is chalam, it is moving. Nigraham, it is difficult. It is difficult to have a say over the ways of the mind. See, the mind is a beautiful instrument. We cannot complain it moves, because if it did not move, we would be in a permanently vegetative state. That is the definition of a permanently vegetative state, where there is no mental activity. We are not striving for thoughtlessness. That is not moksha. Moksha is freedom in spite of the thoughts. That is moksha. Not identifying with the thoughts as I, not identifying with the minds as I. That is freedom. That is liberation. It's not that you're getting freedom from the thoughts. Then you'll say, I had moksha for half an hour. I really enjoyed the state of thoughtlessness for half an hour. After that, what happened? You came. That's what happened. Until then, I was okay. This is not moksha. And so, whether there is a thought, whether there is no thought, the I, that is the sakshi of thought and no thought. That is the one who is free of all thoughts, free of the barrage of thoughts. But instead, we make the mind the whipping boy, make the mind nicely, the culprit. The mind is sad. Mind is not sad. Poor thing, it's inert. The person is sad. A fact that is perhaps reflected in, recognized by the mind. Person is sad. Person is angry. But the mind is made into a big thing boy. Mind is beautiful. It's just wonderful. If it was not moving, I would not have perception at all. If it were stationary, then that means the lesha, the residue of what I saw before will be there with me constantly. Think about it. First, you saw an elephant. You went to a temple. Sometimes temples have elephants. You saw the temple elephant. After that, you saw what? A flower. Then you saw a purse. Then you saw a pumpkin. Then if the mind were not moving all the time, you would have a very funny little circus going on. Elephant on top of that flower, sitting on the flower somebody, a person, and on the person's head the pumpkin. You will carry it all throughout the day. That doesn't happen. Elephant come, elephant gone. Flower came, flower gone. What else? Person came, person gone. This is how the mind is. Mind is always moving. So nigraha here means having a certain discipline. In the technical term for it is chitta naishchalyam. The ability to stay, meaning the mind is available for me. Usually it's the other way around. The mind takes me away. The thoughts run me ragged. The mind takes me from one place to another all the time. The thoughts keep me busy. So if I being run with the thoughts, what will happen? Think about it. Just I run ragged all day, all night. This will not do. So therefore, the mind has to be trained. This is what we are doing in the meditation sessions. This is exactly what we are doing in the meditation session. Whether it is half an hour, 45 minutes, whatever it is, we are being able to de-link the I from these running thoughts. Let the thoughts go. Let the thoughts come. I am stationary. The I is recognized despite the thoughts. In spite of the thoughts, what remains is this I. The thoughts cannot take me away. The thoughts are there to help me lead my life. The mind is there to help me lead my life. On the relative level also, I have to see where I'm going. I can't trip over something. I have to be careful when I walk. And then I need perception. I need the mind to go quickly. If you are driving, something comes, you have to swerve immediately. You have to use the reflexes. This is where the mind is very, very helpful. So the mind has to be available for me. Other than that, what happens if that is not the case? The mind takes me away. Prasabham harati manaha. By force, forcibly the mind takes me away. And I'm at the mercy of the thoughts. I'm at the mercy of the emotions. Emotions are also thoughts. That's how they are recognized. I'm at the mercy, I'm at the fear, I'm at the hijacked by the thoughts. This is why chitta nishchalata, chitta nishchalyam, same thing, is very, very, very crucial to this understanding. And so, how to gain this is through japa. Mainly through japa. Letting the thought go, replacing the thought with another thought, which I tell the mind to think. Before the mind was going rogue, it was thinking all on its own. Now I'm telling the mind, please think Om Namah Shivaya. So this is going to be my first thought. What is the first thought? Om Namah Shivaya. What is the second thought? Om Namah Shivaya. What is the third thought? Om Namah Shivaya. What is the fourth thought? No. Fourth thought is anything happening? How long have I been doing this? That is the fourth thought. What is the fifth thought? Om Namah Shivaya. I have brought the mind back. That is the mastery. You can say, hey, yippee, but then that will take us away from Om Namah Shivaya. So we'll defer that later. If yay, yippee becomes the sixth thought, then again I have to bring it back. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Usually there is a Vijaditya Vritti Pravaha, a flow of discrete, unconnected thoughts. Unconnected is from the standpoint of the conscious. From the standpoint of the subconscious and unconscious mind, there is a connection. We don't recognize that connection. Here, from the standpoint of the conscious mind, there seems to be no rhyme or reason. But Pujya Swamiji always would say, there is a reason. If there is no reason, there is a rhyme. If you see a Honda, he would say, the next thought is Bonda. Nice pride and freightage. Rhyme is there, if not reason, something is there. So, in this way, I replace these discrete, unconnected, leapfroggy type of thoughts with the same thought. The mind is protest like, what? Again, Om Namah Shivaya, I've been there, done that? No. Om Namah Shivaya. Still, Om Namah Shivaya. What is the time? Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. The idea is, if you do it for 48 minutes, it's a mandala. It's very nice. Anything that you can do for 48 minutes at a time, that means there is a certain siddhi awaiting you. It's an accomplishment. So 48 minutes can do something. Then it's a magic number. And it helps to have that say over. The idea is that when I in a non-meditative state also, the mind doesn't act like a prisoner being let out of the jail. Oh, thank God, no more Om Namah Shivaya. I can run, I can go, I can listen. No. The mind is quiet and available for you. If you want to make it run, you make it run. If you want to make it walk, you make it walk. So this is Manonigraha, mastery over the ways of the mind. And the mind has to be kept antakarana, which includes the mind, the cognitive ability, the emotive ability. All this, everything is called mind. It has to be kept in a state of constant repair and tranquility. Because it is, the agitation is easy to come. Why? Because raga dveshas proliferate. Wherever raga dveshas reign, then there is a reign of all kinds of emotions, all kinds of thoughts, all kinds of useless things. So this is how I keep the mind in check. First through meditation. Second through housekeeping. If you don't clean your room, especially in these dusty summer months, for 2 weeks, what will happen? You will go to the office and request a change of room. That's all that can happen. Pile up, dirt, dust, everything. But to clean. And you said, you cannot say I cleaned yesterday. You also ate food yesterday. That did not stop you from going to breakfast. Okay. So that means what? Repeatedly it has to be done. We keep cleansing, housekeeping. There are cobwebs. There are in hard to reach places in the crevices. There are all kinds of things that has to be cleansed off. And that is through a responsible cleansing. Responsible cleansing means Now I saw once I was going through a vegetable market, right? And this side apples, oranges, this side brinjals and what else, beans and carrots, everything shining, everything nicely arranged. Middle of the path was just like compost, rotten vegetables. And all the people, the customers, and we are walking through these rotten vegetables. I wondered how did it get there? This side so clean, this side so clean. Then as I was walking, it became very clear because the shopkeeper on this side, what did he do? He removed the excess leaves, outside leaves, the rotten leaves of the cabbages, put it in the middle. His area was clean. This side, the flower seller lady, what did she do? She took all the dried flowers and rotting flowers, put it in the middle. Her side was very clean. You can't do that. In cleaning the mind, you can't go and dump on somebody else. You can't just dump the compost of the mind, all the thoughts, feelings, by projecting it onto somebody else. I have to be responsible in this inner housekeeping by making sure that I do not target anybody else with my anger, with my explosion, like a Mount, it is like Fuji. One day very quiet, another day, so I have to take the responsibility of not targeting another person. Oh, then I am only like, I have to target myself. I'm going to beat myself up. No. Spirituality begins when I stop targeting others, when I stop targeting myself. Oh, then my hands are tied. What should I do? Safe letting go. Safe letting go of the build-up and the pile-up of the emotions. Write it out, vent it out. And Pujya Swamiji's very famous method. Take a wet towel, go through it on a tiled floor, like a bathroom floor. Hit it many, many times. And tell your roommate, if you hear strange noises coming from the bathroom, please ignore. So that they are warned. Each time you hit, you imagine the roommate there. Take that. I don't know why my prarabdha it is to live with you. Take this also. Can't even clean up of yourself. Take this. Take that. Always you want this. Always you want that. I too am a person, Take that. So whatever is bothering, it is harmless. Other person, then you can come out and smile. Hope you're having a nice day. Can I get you something from the dining hall? See, you're restored to a compassionate self. Wow, can I become homework? This is nice. This is a harmless way of venting. This is Mano Nigraha Shamaha Damaha Kaha. The student asks, Chakshuradi, Bahyendriya, Nigraha. If Shama is accomplished, then Dama is not required at all. That's why Shama comes first in the list. And after that only comes Dama. Because we haven't mastered the ways of the mind. They leak. The emotions leak out in the form of anger, in the form of frustration, in the form of fear, in the form of all kinds of outward expressions through the eye. Give them a look or stay like this. I'm watching you, watching me, watching you. You threaten the person. This is Chakshu. And then Adipada, and then all the other Indriyas also, including what? Karmendriyas. Give the person a nice beating. Why? Because they deserved it. At least that's what you think in the moment. The hand could not, the hand did not, the hand wanted to go and hit this person. But got hold of that and brought the hand back. Sometimes it happens. Hand goes out to hit, then you make it into a dance move. Or you make it into a Chen Mudra. Very nice. This kind of a training. How to use the organs of action and the sense organs so that they are available to me, so that they don't come under the state of the mind, under the spell of the mind and take me away. This is what is called Dhamma. That's why I have to take responsibility for the emotions. Taking responsibility is Dhamma. When I take responsibility, then that means then it is with me. I am responsible for the anger. No, you don't know. The other person is responsible for the anger. In America, we have an expression. You spot it, you got it. This is Vedanta. In one expression, one phrase, Vedanta means you spot it. If something is bothering you about somebody else, you got it. The seeds of that botheration is within myself alone. No, really, this time it is the other person. No exceptions to this rule. Even if it's the other person. Somebody is raving and ranting, why are you upset? Somebody is having a reaction, why are you upset? You are upset because you have come under this fire. There was a trigger. The other person's behavior triggered the seeds of unprocessed pain within oneself. And giving expression to that pain and is swabhavik. It's natural. Animals also do it. The dog doesn't like another dog. It first just raise its lip and make a gargling sound. This is my territory. What are you doing here? Go away. This is what a warning. Then it will do as it wants. Somebody took something away, it will snatch back and then eat. No rules of engagement. But here, we have a human body, free will is there, the ability to override the expressions of the body is there. The expressions of the Indriyas is there. In other words, the donkey kicks, right? Donkey kicks. If you stand behind the donkey, it will kick. Even if I stand behind the donkey, it will kick. And you can't blame the donkey. Oh, why are you kicking the people? You have to blame the sadhu who is standing behind the donkey. What's wrong with you? Why are you standing behind the donkey? Correct? In other words, the donkey has freedom of action. It has the freedom to kick, but it has no freedom over action in the sense that it does not have the freedom not to kick. You have the freedom not to kick. Acharya Swamiji illustrated this with a small child, 2-month-old child kicking, 3-year-old child kicking the mother and father. Oh, how cute. 22-year-old child kicking. Not so cute, right? Why? Because the freedom is there not to do that. This is Dhamma. And Dhamma here means taking responsibility for our emotions. Everybody knows. Everybody has some kind of a sign oh, Mount Fuji is about to erupt. One knows. Anger is coming, one knows. And whether the anger is coming through the face, through the mouth, through the hands, through the legs, one doesn't know. But one knows the anger is coming. That time I take responsibility and say, let us not discuss this right now. Let us discuss this later. And gracefully you leave the situation without feeling targeted. Even if the other person says, oh, you are a chicken, you're leaving, you don't even have the ability to fight. Let them say. Take a few deep breaths, whatever works. Count from 10 backwards. Sometimes you have to start at 100. The situation is dire. 99, 98, 97. By the time you reach 1, you have forgotten why you had it. This is all Dhamma. Dhamma means the allowing the hands and legs and all this discipline organs of action, disciplining the sense organs. From what? From inappropriate reactions and expressions to situation, events, people, things, etc. Training. This is Dhamma. The next one, Uparamaha Paha Svatdharma Going down the list, Uparama, also called Uparati. Don't get confused if you see it as Uparati elsewhere. It is defined from two standpoints. Here one standpoint the author takes, Swadharma Anushtanam Eva. Simply put, the translation is minding your own business, doing what needs to be done. Every day I have a list of things I have to accomplish. I just do what I need to do, and that keeps me from what? That keeps me from not doing what I'm supposed to not do. So, Nishiddha karma, the karma that I'm not supposed to do, I don't do it. Why? Because I'm busy doing what I'm supposed to do. How does it help the pursuit of Vedanta? Because it helps to override Raga Dvesha, and it helps also to gain the other quality, which is Ekagrata, focus. Because I'm just, usually what happens is that people avoid their own lives because it's painful. You sit 5 minutes with yourself, what will happen? All kinds of, this one did that, this one's omissions, that one's commissions. Why did they not do this to me? Why did they do this to me? Then my own omissions and commissions. Why did I do this? Why did I not do this? Taittiriya Upanishad will talk about this. Kimaham sadhu na karavam, kimaham papam karavam iti. Why did I do the wrong thing? Why did I do the right thing? See, translated with swaras. Why did I do the wrong thing? Why did I do the right thing? I knew what was right. Why didn't I follow that? But why did this other person wrong me? These are the thoughts that collect in the mind. And if the focus on Swadharma, what needs to be done in the moment is not there. So I protect the mind through Uparama, Swadharma Anushtana. Another way Uparama is defined is like a mini sannyas, letting go of the, first to let go of the small stuff. You ask yourself a few questions. Somebody has done this. Okay, this is an omission by somebody. They have not done this. They should have done this. Or they have done this. They shouldn't have done this. Ask yourself, in the big picture, does it really matter? Yes. First answer will come, yes. Why does it matter? Oh, I'm only thinking well about them, I like them. I want them to have moksha. If they continue like this, they'll never get moksha. Uparama means letting go. Are you bothered about their moksha? Or am I bothered about my own moksha? This is what I have to ask. Come back to yourself. Uparama. Returning back to yourself. Always the world of people, their thoughts, their ideas, their life is very interesting. I become an expert in fixing somebody else's life. Give me 5 minutes, I'll tell you what to do. Yes, we should do this. Yes, you should not do that. Why are you talking to that person? Don't do that. They are treating you like a doormat. Get away from this. Oh, this is a toxic relationship. Get out of this. These are all trendy words these days. All toxic. And get out of this. And meanwhile, what? Tattva Bodha has come and has gone. What has happened to me? Nothing. Why? Because I was too busy minding other people's business. So I take a daily sannyasa. I dress the heart in an orange frock, an orange dhoti, orange sari, the heart. Uparama. Do this as a ritual. Get up in the morning, take a bath. Then you put chandan or kurkumam on the forehead. Do this. Dress the heart in orange. Just say, today I am a sannyasi. I have taken a mini sannyasa from other people's issues, lives, thoughts, and their landscape. I'm more interested in my improving the inner landscape. This is what I'm interested in. Uparama. Then, next one. Titikshaka. Shitoshna. Sukha dukkhadi. Sahishnata. What is written there? Sahishnatvam. Sahishnatvam. Sahishnata. Sahishnatvam. Titiksha. Titiksha means is that generally translated as forbearance. The ability to put up with difficulties is titiksha. Ability to put up with difficulties means what? I cry all day long and put up with the difficulties. That's not titiksha. I rail and rant and complain all the time. That is not titiksha. Okay, I don't complain, but inside I'm exploding. Inside I'm just so sad all the time. Anxious, a bunch of nerves. Is that titiksha? Sahanam sarva dukkhanam apratikara punyakam. Chinta vilaparahitam sa titiksha nigadyate. Nigadyate, it is unfolded. It is said. It has been talked about. Sa titiksha. She alone is titiksha. And who is she? What is this titiksha? Sahanam sarva dukkhana. The ability to put up with uncomfortable situations. Dukkha here is not sorrow, uncomfortable situations. How? Apratikara purvakam, without reacting to them. How to not react to these situations? Chinta rahitam. Without imploding, becoming an inner mess of nerves and anxiety. Vilapa rahitam, without exploding and yelling at everybody and everything. Why are you yelling? Because it's hot. Okay? If it is hot and then you yell, is the temperature going to come down? Ask who said that. Is the temperature going to come down? No. Then save the vocal cords. Yeah. For chanting in the temple. Where it feels good. where you feel happy. Because certain things, Bhagavan is in charge. Temperature also. No, but we have AC, we have thermostat, we can make it cold, we can make it hot, we can do whatever. AC is there, but there is also power cut along with AC. Correct? Power goes away, cold lake. What to do? I become disempowered because there is no power. The ability to see that the inevitability of a situation. I can't change this. At least right now I cannot change. Maybe next moment something may happen. Maybe tomorrow I can change. Maybe half an hour later I can change. Right now I absolutely cannot change this at all. This radical acceptance, this is another trendy phrase. Radical acceptance is titiksha. So the acceptance here is not a complaining acceptance, is not an anxious acceptance, is not an avoidant acceptance. It's a strategic and deliberate cultivation of the acceptance because I can't do anything else. I'm not able to do anything else. Right now, this is how it is. This is how it is. This is exactly how it is because it cannot change. If it could change, it will. If I can't change it, let me change it. I can't change it right now. So then this radical acceptance gives rise to a relative cheerfulness, which I generally enjoy, even in the difficult situation. I'm able to make a joke. I'm able to laugh. I'm able to be cheerful. So putting up with difficulties. Why should I put up with difficulties? Because this knowledge is very precious and cannot be gained very easily. In the olden days, people had to walk to find a teacher. A baby Adi Shankara at 8 years old went from his hometown in Kerala all the way to Madhya Pradesh to find his guru. Oh, he took the express? No express. Yeah, only Moksha Express. That's all. That's what took him. No express, no flight. Walking through jungles, no roads even. Walking through jungles. Surviving the hungry tigers, bears, lions, everything. Wildlife, hyenas, coyotes, who knows what all was dead. And reaching. And to do that sometimes. And thanks to Puja Swamiji's grace, he made a sankalpa because he himself had to gain the knowledge, going to one guru after the other guru after another guru. And he made a sankalpa, none of my students will have to do that. They won't ever have to worry about food. They will never have to worry about comfort while pursuing this knowledge. Because of that sankalpa, here we are enjoying so much. We are enjoying this knowledge in a dhara, in an unending stream, because of this great saint's blessing in our lives. So strong is his sankalpa that generations after generations of mumukshus gain the knowledge. So what is a little difficulty in the light of this? What is a little difficulty? What is a little trouble? So far we have come. And having come so far, am I going to turn away because something I don't like in the ashram, something I don't like about somebody else? I learned to cheerfully put up with it. Because, as I said earlier, the reason why something bothers is because there is some unattended hurt. And so when I attend to that, then it stops bothering. This is called titiksha. Then the next one, Shraddha ki Krishi, Guru Vedanta, वाक्यादिषु विश्वासः श्रद्धा कीदृशी श्रद्धा. Next one, श्रद्धा. कीदृशी. What kind of this thing is called Shraddha? What type of Shraddha? What is meant by Shraddha? Shraddha simply means trust. Here, the trust is directed towards specific things here. Guru. Guru Vakyeshu Shraddha. Shraddha for the words of the teacher. We're just looking at the translation. Vedanta Vakyeshu Shraddha. Shraddha in the words of Vedanta means Shastra. Shastra, I have for the Shastra, I have trust because it is telling me something I don't have. I can't find out on my own. And for the words of the Guru also, I have Shraddha. Vishwasa, trust. Guru Vakyeshu, Vedanta Vakyeshu, there is Adi there, Vedanta Adi. It includes also the first portion of the Veda. I don't say, oh, first portion of the Veda doesn't apply to me. I'm a Vedantin. Vedantin means what? I'm in Vedanta. Okay? Yeah. So I'm a Vedantin. So, and what is the first portion of Veda? Vedanta out. So I'm not going to have Shraddha. That also has some very wonderful, Veda is a whole, but also has some wonderful things for me in terms of internal maturity, etc. So, for the whole Veda, there is trust. And it is not blind faith. It is not blind faith because it is the Shastra is not something to be believed in. Shastra means the subject matter of it is Ishvara. Ishvara is not a matter for belief, like many theologies. I believe, I am saved. That's enough. Not here. You are not saved because you were never enslaved. So if you are not enslaved, you cannot be saved. So Shraddha is trust pending understanding. Yes, there is something the Shastra says that is Sukham, Hitam for me. And I have to give that benefit of doubt to the Pramana, to the Guru who operates the Pramana. Vedanta is a way of seeing something which, even though is right in front of me, i.e. myself, since it is not an object, about whose nature I am confused, that confusion has to drop. Therefore, I have to rely on the teacher. I have to rely on the Shastra. The Shastra is described in the Mundaka Upanishad as a Shabda Rashi, as a heap of words. Words. And the key that unlocks the words makes this Shastra, which is a Pramana, makes it a dynamic transmission, is the words of the teacher. The teacher is the handler, the wielder of the Pramana, because the Pramana cannot speak for itself. So who is this Guru? The Guru is an app. Yes. Apta you can say, but here we say app. The Guru is an app that constantly updates the Shastra and makes it relevant for Etar Desha Kala, for this time, this space, these kinds of students with this kind of problems. Ancient students also had problems. Modern students also have problems. Contemporary students also, there are issues. But then what gets updated constantly is how to make this Shastra, which is timeless and which is relevant to everybody, ancient or now, which is timeless. Gita is timeless. Shastra is timeless. Upanishads don't have an expiry date. They are there for me. So this timeless Shastra, how to update that and how to convey that, how to transmit its message for the current day, current time, current problems. That is the job of the teacher. To uphold the pramanyam, the status of being a pramana. The teacher upholds and then gives it to the student in a way that the student finds it easy to assimilate. This is what is the Guru. So the Guru may say some things which may be not said in the Shastras. For example, the Shastra does not spend a lot of time going into the internal psyche of the student. It will just say Raga Dvesha, manage the Raga Dvesha, it will say and go away. Perhaps in those days, this was not so much of an issue. But now we have very complex issues. Before it was simpler. Emotionally speaking, I think it was a little simpler. Mother would scold the child. Child would go and sit on the grandma's lap. Very happy. Grandma is happy. Yes. The grandma would tell the child, you know what? Your mom is crazy. This is instant therapy. Your mom is crazy. She's like this. All the time she was like this. And if it's the paternal grandmother, she would say, even her mom is, gone. It runs in the family. But you are my darling. You are amazing. You are wonderful. The child gets down from the lap, starts to play. Tears are dried up. Always there was a lap for the child to sit. Now we only have laptops. Before the child was the laptop. Child was the laptop. Now we have nuclear family, which is neither new nor clear to me. Difficult situations. Alienation. Because all kinds of problems. Different problems. It's not that they had, they didn't have problems. They also had problems. But now the different problems in different yugas. What yuga are we in? Everybody knows that. Very good. Kali Yuga, where the Dharma bull is standing on one leg, always ready to fall. No Dharma, no Papa Punya, no focus on anything responsibly. Naturally, issues will increase. Kali itself, the word Kali itself is called, means conflict, strife. This is the order of the day. And so to take this body of sacred knowledge and to be able to transmit it to the student in a manner which speaks to them. That is why the Guru's words are also included in the definition of in the Shraddha. Shastrasya Guru Vakyasya Satya Buddhi Avadharana. Dharana, like you stage a dharana, the holding. The power, the holding power. With regard to the Shastra, with regard to the words of the Guru. Sa Shraddha Kathitha Satbhihi. Yaya Aksharam Adhigamyate. Through which that imperishable I as Brahman is understood. So you can see, Shraddha becomes the foremost thing to gain. And we saw this in the value called Acharya Upasanam. That's why Acharya Upasana. Upasana is not that you take some incense sticks and keep going like this and keep doing Arya. That's not the idea. Upasana is having a worshipful attitude towards the words of the teacher, towards the words of the Shastra, because this is a heavily teacher-dependent knowledge. It is a teacher-dependent knowledge. I cannot get this by myself. have to rely on the teacher. And Shraddha becomes even more important to cultivate because we do not come to Vedanta Shastra with a blank slate. Then it's easy. There is not only agrahanam, not understanding myself, there is anyatha grahanam, understanding myself according to wrong notions, misunderstanding of myself. For animals, it's simpler. There is only agrahanam. The dog doesn't know there is a spelling mistake. It should be G-O-D, not D-O-G. It doesn't know its nature. Yet, it is happier than everybody. Because what causes problems is not just ajnana, but this anyatha jnana. The partially known I that is subject to, we have seen this earlier, the partially known I that is subject to myriad wrong conclusions. I don't like myself, I am an idiot, I don't have self-confidence. I wish I were like this, I wish I were like that. Why am I not like this? Why am I not like that? This constitutes anyatha grahana. Just like the rope is taken to the bottom. Not in the pitch dark, in the partial light, twilight. So here too, the I is known, it cannot but be known. Are you here? Yes. Even after telling the answer, it doesn't come. Are you here? Yes. Yes. Spontaneous, yes. You don't look at the person next door and say, am I here? You don't let it look at your roommate. Am I in class? You know you are. But don't ask the next question. Who am I? Don't ask that question. Because then lot of things will come tumbling out. All the difficulties, all the sadness, all the fears starting from the last janma will come out. So, Shraddha is suspending these notions about myself, about the world, about Ishvara, God, about other jivas. Being able to suspend these notions because there is something that is being fed to me that I really am hungry for. This is Shraddha. Discovery. See, distrust happens automatically. You don't have to work for distrust. All that you have to do is grow up. And very soon the primary caregivers turn into primary caregivers. From the standpoint of the child, nobody is exempt. Even if you had the most functional parents, parents are fallible. They're fallible. Mother is fallible, father is fallible. From the eyes of the child, nothing happens. We don't know. Pujya Swamiji used to illustrate this very beautifully. Child sees a cockroach, 2-year-old child. He's never seen a cockroach. And it gets very scared. Goes and catches hold of the mother's dress. Mom, look, ooh, scary. What does the mother do? Lying on the dining table, leaving the child right there. Then the child says, maybe daddy. Where is daddy? In the other room. Daddy doesn't even come in this room. And here is the child that trusted the parents implicitly, completely, totally, total trust. Of course, because the child is helpless. Total helplessness has to be compensated by total trust. But that trust naturally drops. Oh, they cannot even handle a cockroach. Oh, they left me. I'm abandoned. They don't love me. They saved themselves from this horrible creature. Like this. So, the distrust with regard to the local mother and father has to be reclaimed by daring to trust again the mother and the father of the universe, by daring to trust Bhagavan. That is why bhakti is very essential for mukti. Without bhakti, no mukti, you can kiss it goodbye. So I dare to put trust again in the infallible. We don't say Bhagavan is infallible. We have to do Shirshasana for that statement. That which is infallible is Bhagavan. And in the light of this, cultivate Shraddha. This is how to cultivate Shraddha. Shraddha and Bhakti are together. It's a beautiful love. Samagami. And there also it is said that one has to cross some difficulties have to be crossed. Cross the difficult bridge. Setu stara, setu stara, dustara, dustara, dustaram setu stara. Cross the bridge, it's very difficult to cross. How? Shraddhaya ashraddham stara. Cross the lack of Shraddha by what? By making a bridge of Shraddha. Cultivate Shraddha. Cultivate the opposite of whatever brings. Dhanena adhanam stara. Cross non-giving by giving. Akrodhena krodham stara. By non-anger, conquer anger. Have mastery of anger by cultivating tranquility. Overcome anger by tranquility. Overcome the inability to give by giving. Overcome unkindness by kindness. Overcome lack of trust by daring to trust again. Is this Shraddha? The next one. Samadhanam kim? Chitta ekagrata. Focus is samadhana. Chitta ekagrata. Something that has to be underscored in this age of devices. Before we only had to contend with desires. Now we have devices and desires for more devices. And so makes it very, very, very difficult. And also the society loves and values and rewards multitasking. It's a word in the dictionary, multitasking. What are you doing? Multitasking. One eye on the teacher, another eye on the phone. Thankfully, we are not like Lord Shiva. We don't have to worry about the third eye. So, multitasking. And you ask the person is not listening to everything. So, shallow listening. The Vedanta has to pierce the heart. The walls of the heart that has been made with bricks of distrust after distrust after distrust have to be dismantled with the beautiful, soft words of Mother Shruti. The words of the Shruti are like flowers. They have the power to dismantle this wall that I have built up. Provided I have samadhi. Focus, focus, focus. Bring it back again and again. Samadhanam. Mokshitvam kim. Mokshoti bhuyam. This also we have seen. Acharya Swamiji gave a very good example. of the hair being on fire. Devra ichha, the intense desire moksha me bhuyat. Let there be moksha for me. Let me have moksha now. What do I want? Moksha. When do I want it? Yesterday. Yeah. I think now is too late. Yes. This should be the feeling. In the Mundaka Upanishad, there is one Shirovrata. Shirovrata is a certain kind of an observance. One has to do this vrata before studying. First, you shave off the head. Oh, that's easy. I can do that. And on the newly shorn head, put a basket of live coals. How? For how long? Until you do 3 perambulations of the entire ashram, carrying live coals on the head. And then lay them at the feet of the teacher and say, please, may you teach me this knowledge. Adhihi bhagavo brahma iti. So, this is a symbolic vrata. It symbolizes the desire for the intense desire to be free, which is converted into the intense desire for knowledge, which is why I have come here to the teacher, to the ashram. So if the head is on fire, if the hair is on fire, and then few yards away there is a body of water. So where are you headed now? Water. You're just focusing on that. Maybe 100 yards away there is a body of water. You're running towards that. On the left you see a Starbucks. Do you say, let me catch something? No time, you don't even see it. You just rush, put the head inside the water. This is Mamukshita and Kshitvam. So, this is the, what is that called? Shatka, Sampattihi, and Mamukshitvam, the final one of the 4 Mamukshitvam. So, what do we have? Viveka, Vairagya, 6 pack, and Mamukshitvam. And in the 6, we have Shama, very good. Etad sadhana chatushtayam tatah tattva vivekasya adhikarinah bhavanti. Etad sadhana chatushtayam. The teacher concludes, this is sadhana chatushtaya. This is the 4-fold qualification. And tataha means thereafter. Thereafter means what? Gaining which? After gaining which we have to add. Thereafter means after gaining these qualifications, then what happens? Tattva vivekasya adhikarinah bhavanti. Mukshavaha janaha, the students. So the students, bhavati, they become what? Adhikarinaha, entitled, qualified for what? Tattva viveka. We have seen what Tattva viveka is. In fact, this is the 3rd time the author has used the phrase right from the beginning. Tattva viveka prakaram vakshamaha. In the beginning it was told. And so again, one more place it was told, now again it is told. So from that, we have to conclude that the word, that the phrase Tattva Viveka is very important to understand. Tattvasya Viveka. The knowledge of the truth. What is this Tattva? To know. And we saw the word Viveka comes because this truth is mixed up with all kinds of nonsensical notions about the I. That mix-up has to be resolved. So there is a separation. There is a sifting. Aham and idam are mixed up. Idam, world of objects. aham. Really speaking, there should be no confusion between aham and idam. I don't say me house. I don't say me computer. There should be no mix, but there is a mix. The I notion pervades the world of objects as long as there is Atma Ajnana. As long as there is self-ignorance, the I notion quickly pervades the world of objects. Because I don't know who I am, because I think I need all these things to make myself somebody, to become something or the other, by having things, by identifying with my degrees, with my possessions. If I don't have a degree, at least I have a pedigree. I identify with that. And so, therefore, all these wrong identification, there is a pile up and a mix-up. Poor Atma, most misunderstood, least understood, never complains though. Atma would have every reason to complain. Nobody understands me, nobody loves me, nobody goes for me, everybody only goes after the objects. That is the truth. That's why the sifting is necessary. This is Tattva Viveka. That Viveka means sifting between what and what we will see tomorrow. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Om. Hari Om.